abandoned, forgotten, and left to rot. This 2023 Civic Type R was sitting in a junkyard, slowly being eaten away by time. Most people walked past it, without even a second look. To them, it was just another dead car. But to us, this wasn't the end of its story. This was just the beginning. We found it buried deep inside a junkyard, dust covering every inch, scratches across the body, and damage that looked beyond repair. The headlights were broken, the paint had faded, and the interior looked completely neglected. Even the engine was silent. No sound, no life, just a shell of what used to be a high-performance machine. But something about it stood out. Maybe it was the shape, maybe the history, or maybe the challenge. Because sometimes, the cars that look the worst have the best comeback stories. Getting it out of there wasn't easy. The tires barely moved. The body creaked with every inch. We carefully secured it with chains and slowly pulled it onto a tow truck. Every movement felt risky, like the car could fall apart at any moment. But once it was loaded, there was no turning back. This project had officially begun. Back at the workshop, we started with the simplest step, but what looked simple turned into something surprising. As the water hit the surface, layers of dirt began to disappear, and slowly, the true condition revealed itself. Hidden damage, deep scratches, and structural issues we couldn't see before. This wasn't just a restoration. This was going to be a full rebuild. We lifted the car and started tearing it down. Wheels came off first, then the panels, then the wiring. Every bolt, every component, removed one step at a time. This is the point where most people give up. Because once a car is stripped this far, there's no easy way back. But we kept going. The engine had to come out, carefully lifted, piece by piece disconnected, until finally, the car stood there, nothing but a bare shell. This was the most critical part. The frame was damaged, and if we didn't fix this right, everything else would fail. We mounted it onto a frame machine and began the process of realignment. Slow pressure, precise adjustments, pulling the metal back to where it was meant to be. Then came the hardest step, cutting out the damaged sections, replacing them with new metal, and welding everything back together. Every spark, every weld, bringing strength back into the car. This wasn't just repair. This was rebuilding the foundation. Once the structure was restored, it was time for the transformation. The entire body was sanded down, removing every imperfection. Smooth, clean, ready for a new beginning. Then came the primer, a fresh base for what was about to come. Inside the paint booth, everything changed. Layer by layer, the color came back, deep, rich, and full of life. And finally, the clear coat, that glossy finish, that mirror reflection. The moment where you realize, this isn't the same car anymore. Now it was time to bring everything back together. The suspension, the wheels, the interior, every piece reinstalled with precision. Everything had to be perfect, because this wasn't just about looks. It was about performance. And then, the moment we had been waiting for. We sat inside, turned the key, and for a second, nothing happened. Then suddenly, the engine roared back to life. After everything, it was alive again. From a forgotten wreck to a fully restored machine, this 2023 Civic Type R was back where it belonged. On the road, moving, breathing, alive. And this is why we do what we do.